Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Cartographers, and this is published by Thunderworks Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out.
So in Cartographers, this is a... Boy, it's distracting when someone next to you is dancing, isn't it?
I do, just a little bit.
This is a roll and write game, or more specifically, it's a flip and write game. So what's happening is you are flipping over these cards, and they are telling you some kind of terrains. Maybe it's forests, maybe it's rivers, whatever it is. You fill it in on your map because you are making maps because you are a cartographer. All right, you want to teach us one?
Yeah, okay, I'll try. Let's go, guys. Come on.
All right.
So this is how the basic setup works. This is the player area, and then every player has their own player sheet that they're playing from as well. At the beginning of the game, before you do anything else, all players choose if they're playing on this side or this side, and we all play the same side throughout the rest of the game. So there's a few things to note on here. We have A, B, C, and D. We have these cards down here. We have this deck right here and that deck right here. So this deck is the round order. This is going to tell you what round it is, which is the first round, what's scoring this round, and then how much time is going to come in. I'll talk about all of those in a second. But every round, as you can see, scores different items. And as it gets closer through the season, the time is less. I'll talk about what that time means, like I said, in just a second. So in spring, where we have, remember, we have that A and B that we're scoring. For this particular one, for every tree that's along the edge of your player board, you get 1 point. So the edge of the player board would literally be just the edge of the player board. This scores for water and farm space. So for every farm space that is over a ruin, you get 3 points. For every water that is next to a ruin, you get 1 point. And on your personal player board, those kind of grayed out pieces right there, those are the ruins that you can see. So those are all over your board. For C, this way we would score for every group of 6 or higher, you would get 8 points. This is, you earn 3 reputation stars for each space along one edge of the largest square of the filled spaces. So this has to do with placements on your board. The rest have to do with the type that's being placed. This has to do with placements. So it's all set up. We know what we're doing. We have our board. So how the game plays is we simply draw a card, and it's going to tell us a few things. One, it's going to tell us the type that's being played, the shape that we have to draw on our own player board, and then lastly, the time that is passing. So this one, we have an option. We can either draw the shape on the right here on our board, or we can choose to play the smaller shape and also get a coin. And coins score at the end of every round. So we would choose on our player board where we want to put that. Maybe the 3 spot, since we know that, Hamlets don't score this round. We know it waits until the 4th round. So maybe the 3 spot, just so we can cross off a gold so we can get the money for that, wherever you want. So gameplay continues until you reach the 8. 2 things to notice. There are things called ruins. I talked about ruins earlier, but they are also in the deck. So when you draw a ruin card, all that means is the very next draw that you do, you have to place one of those over a ruin space on your player board. If for some reason you can't, you choose a 1x1 square to place one of those 2 on your board. There are also attacks. What kind of game would we have if we didn't have anything to attack with? This is one example. So all this is, we actually take our board, and we pass it the direction it states on the card. As you can see right there, what direction. And then you, on the opponent's player board, you draw that shape that's on their player board. So what happens is, at the end of the round, if you have a goblin on your board and it's not covered, every spot adjacently that it's not covered on your individual player board is -1 point. So at the end of each round, you score as shows right down here. you score for A and B, your money minus goblins, and then you put your final score in there. And then, in the next round, you score for B and C, money, goblins, so on and so forth. And then at the very end, you add it all up. Whoever gets the most wins.
I really enjoyed the scoring phases in this game. There's 4 seasons, and at the end of each one, there's a scoring phase, and it comprises of 2 different sections. So it might be A, B, B, C, C, D, whatever it is for that particular round. And so you really kind of have to map out, get it? Map out how you're going to lay everything out there. I know that joke landed for some of you, and I'm with you, and I love you for that. But yeah, you really have to kind of plan out where you want everything to go, because maybe the houses or the villages aren't helping you right now, but later on, a couple rounds from now, they're going to come back and help you. So you really want to kind of plan ahead that way, and I really love that scoring phases and how that makes you think.
I really enjoy the monsters in this game. I actually call them goblins. I don't think that's anywhere in the rulebook.
They look like goblins.
If I had mentioned goblins earlier in the how-to, what I meant was monsters.
They look like goblins.
They're goblins. So the reason why I really like the goblins is because it makes it interactive. So you are interacting with each other's boards. And so I like that you can kind of mess with them and do stuff. But basically it makes it to where it's not just a simple flip, draw this, flip, draw this. It makes it exciting. Like you don't really know what's going to happen as you're trying to plan this out.
I like the progression of the game. So there's the 4 seasons, and each one's shorter than the one previous. So it's like shorter and shorter and shorter. And also, the board gets more and more constrictive as the game goes on. So the first round you're just like putting let's say a forest just kind of wherever you feel like. You have the whole thing open to you. But as the game goes on, there's less and less places for these kind of odd shaped, polyomino, is that the right word for that? Kind of these polyomino shapes. These polyomino shapes on the board. And you have to kind of fit them in weird places that, you might not be able to get the full amount in there. So, yeah, that's really interesting. I like how that progresses as the game goes on.
So one of the things that is great about this game, especially now, is the fact that this is a really great game to play virtually. Basically, all the players just need a map, and only one player needs to be able to own the cards and do all of that. We actually did play this, who knows when, sometime this year. Time is relative, with Jordan from Jordan Plays Blue, and it worked out really well.
Check him out on Instagram.
Yes, Jordan Plays Blue. But yeah, it worked out really, really well with just one person owning the cards, but everybody having a map.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's really fun to play in person. You can play it 2-player. There's even a solo. You can play it solo and just kind of go off your score. But playing it 2-player is great. Playing it digitally with a whole bunch of people is great. The box says plays 1 to 100, so I'd like to test that at some point. But it might be challenging.
At NewMeCon.
Yeah, our NewMeCon, our world famous Iowa convention.
World famous. World famous.
World famous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Cartographers, fantastic. I really like. I'm starting to like those roll and write and flip and write style games. I was resistant to them for a long time, but games like this make me want to try more of them because this was a ton of fun. I really like Cartographers.
Yeah, I really don't have anything more to add. I really enjoyed it. I don't see it leaving our collection. I see this staying for a very long time, and it's really fun to play with our daughter. I don't know if she grasps the greater strategies of it, even though. So the first time she played, her score was higher than the first time I played. So maybe I don't grasp the strategies of this game. What would happen if we played more and more?
She would beat you.
She would school me. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. Oh my gosh.
You're being replaced.
Oh, okay. I don't want to think about this anymore. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to stay tuned to the very end for our Pounds and Inches segment. Until then, you can find us in all the places. We are on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. We are on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany. And we are on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1.
Everybody, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for staying to the very end for our Pounds and Inches segment. This is where Ryan and I talk about the things that we're doing to try and achieve better health in our life. And I know that for a lot of people, I'm not the only one. 2020, you have, added a bit more to yourself than you really planned on doing. And I have participated in that. And I decided to download an app. It's called Lose It. I've used it in the past because I really just need to see what's happening in my day. Basically, I need to see a visual map of my food.
Cartographers.
To see what I really am consuming in every day. Because I don't think I'm understanding what I'm actually putting into my body, and I don't want to be one of those people that just gets frustrated knowing that, if I just would close my mouth sometimes, it wouldn't be that big of an issue.
Yeah, this has been a tough year, y'all. But
yeah, that's all. Bye. Just like things look like goblins to me, and goblins are fun to say. Goblin, goblin, goblin. Anyway, can I say that 3 times? Say it.
Goblins, goblins, goblins.
No, fast.
Goblins, goblins, goblins. Gobble, gobble, gobble. It's...
So the point I'm trying to make is that
I'll edit this out in post.
No, you won't. The point I'm trying